Hello everybody and welcome back to the Retro Union Collectors channel today, and today we're taking a look at one of the coolest looking Transformers I have in my entire collection. This is the Generation Selects G2 Ramjet, and I love the colors on this thing. It's so different than the other ones, and it is so cool looking. But we can get to him in a moment. We can take a look at this box here. And this box looks just like all of the other Generation Selects boxes, which are pretty cool. Voyager class Ramjet. He is War for Cybertron Generation Selects 24. We can take a look at the inside of this box here, because the first time I saw the inside of one of these boxes, I was pretty mind blown. I was not expecting this really cool art on the inside of just a normal cardboard box. But he does not come on a plastic sleeve, he comes on a cardboard one, and he's got his instructions down in there. And close the box up, and we can get on to the best part of this, which is this super cool looking Seeker here. This is the coolest color scheme I have ever seen on a Seeker. So I have Starscream, Thundercracker, and Skywarp so far. Now I have G2 Ramjet. And wow, am I just kind of blown away by this. This is so cool. I've never seen a Seeker have colors like this. So he's predominantly black, but he also has this really nice purple color. And there are a couple different shades in it, like the null rays and these little flaps here are for some reason slightly different shades, but overall it's the same color as this and here and on the nose cone and stuff. Very nice purple. And then it's clashed so hard with this like almost cyan blue. And it is just so cool looking. It hits the eyeballs so hard. And it's so nice. Taking a look at him though, he is a conehead. So he's got the cone on his head. He has some bronze eyes in there. He's got nice silver detailing up in these intakes up here. His chest is slightly different than the other Seekers, as with all the coneheads, and I'll show you that when we do comparisons. It's just a little bit thinner in this region here. But just overall, so nice looking. And you're kind of... the instructions say to put his fins back like that. Personally, I like to push them in. But if you want, it does have Decepticon logos on the inside here, so when you fold it back, you can see those. But it also has them here. They're just upside down. Might bother some people. I don't really mind. But just super cool looking. I just can't get over this color scheme. This is so cool. For accessories, he comes with his null rays, just like all the Seekers. But unlike the other Seekers, it is not a solid color. It's black plastic with this purple paint over it. And the purple paint, if you can see that, it is slightly darker than the rest of the purple on him, which might bother some people, but I don't really mind. It doesn't bother me that much. But that's all he comes with for accessories, is his two null rays. For his articulation, his head is on a ball joint, so he can look up and down, get a tiny bit of side to side, and he can look left and right. Mine is kind of stiff. It doesn't really want to spin. But his arms can come out pretty much 90 degrees here, and they can spin around this joint right here. He does have bicep rotation up here, and an elbow that can go just ever so slightly past 90 degrees. And mostly due to transformation, he has a fist joint that can go like painfully back. He does not have waist articulation, but you can push this thing up to get his legs to kick out this far. If you want to kind of cheat a little bit, you can pull this up and bring it up a little bit more. His knee pads are redesigned. They're a lot longer than the other Seekers, as with all the coneheads, so it kind of blocks this a little bit. But his legs can kick out this way about that far. and can kick back just very slightly before it hits this whole section. He has a knee joint here. Let's get that to tab back in. He has a knee joint here, like this. Can bend back pretty far. You can't really see it too much because of this big fin. But it can bend back pretty far. You can kind of cheat a little bit and untab this to kind of get a little bit more motion out of it. He has articulated toes and heels for transformation, and some really nice ankle rocker joints. And that's about it for articulation. To get some size comparisons here, here's G2 Ramjet, and here he is with my other Seekers in my collection. Here's Earthrise Starscream, Earthrise Thundercracker, and Earthrise Skywarp. I can kind of get them all in frame there. They look so good together. I love this little collection. This Seeker collection I've got going here is turning out really, really nice. To kind of move these two out of the way, though, I kind of want to showcase him next to Skywarp, because these two have rather similar colors, and I think it looks excellent. And I can also showcase here what I was saying about the chest. So you see how Skywarp's chest is like this whole section, the circle in there, like the turbine is like a full circle, and then it just comes down to this little like pouch thing here. On his chest, the circles are a lot smaller. This whole rectangle section is a lot thinner, and it comes down to like these big like vents here. So that whole chest section has actually been slightly changed. And if you look down here at their legs, these panels in the front here are also totally different. The normal Seekers here, they end just a little above the knee, and on the conehead Seekers they extend way past the knee. And these little sections here are a lot thinner on the normal Seekers, and they've been beefed up on the conehead Seekers. But overall, I think they look great with each other, and I'm very, very excited to get more Seekers in my collection. Moving the Seekers out of the way here, though, we can take a look at G2 Ramjet with Studio Series 8607 Leader Class Slug. Adjust the camera a little bit. There we go. And Slug is a true leader class, so he is much larger than Ramjet is. Ramjet is just a Voyager class, as with all the other Seekers. So, I mean, it's kind of expected him to be quite a bit bigger. Getting him out of here. Here's another Voyager class. This is the SS8610 Sweep. And videos on him and Slug will be coming soon. I think this is a nice comparison here. You can kind of see like the Season 2 Seeker. We compared the Season 1 Seekers earlier, and this is kind of, you can think of it as like a Season 3 Seeker after the movie, because the sweeps are kind of just the generics, you know what I mean? We can get him out of here though, and we can go ahead and get him transformed into his awesome looking jet mode. To see the transformation guide, you can go down in the description, or you can go right up here. It's fairly similar to the normal Seekers. There's just a little bit of difference, particularly with the wings. But we can go ahead and get him transformed and take a look. And here is this super, super cool looking jet mode. Adjust the camera a little bit here. So he is not the normal Seeker jet, because, you know, he's Ramjet, he's one of the coneheads, and all three coneheads kind of had their own look. And this one kind of has this nice like V shape to it. And I really like this. It's not identical to the other Seekers, but it looks just as nice next to it as any of the other ones do. But he carries over all of those super cool colors. A less predominance on the black in this mode, a lot more purple. And then you got some of the blue back here. And I just can't get over that color scheme. It is so cool. It is so unique. Now, he is from Generation 2, which, to my knowledge, was mostly just repaints of G1 figures, but they came out in like the early 90s before the Beast Wars era. And there is another Generation Select Seeker that I believe uses the same mold, and that one was actually unreleased until Generation Selects did it, and that's Sandstorm, and I hope to be getting him rather soon. But taking a closer look here, he's got this nice black nose cone up here, goes into that purple cockpit up here. The seat on the inside is the same blue color as this, and it's got that nice translucent purple. The side here, in chrome letters, or silver letters, I guess it's not really chrome, but it just says Ramjet. In case you ever forget what his name is, it's right there. And then you come back, these sections here, where these little front wing nub things peg in, they're slightly different color, and the camera isn't picking it up as well as my eyes can, but I can definitely see that. That honestly bothers me more than the null rays being a different shade, but still doesn't bother me that much. Coming back here, this whole section is exactly the same as the other Seekers until you get to the wings here. And these wings, they kind of have their own thrusters here instead of trying to play these off as the thrusters, which I kind of like how that looks. I also like how it's got this little inverted fin up here, which looks pretty cool. Now the null rays on this one, you can peg them in back here, but then they only stick out a little bit, or you can peg them up in here, and then they barely stick out at all. So what I prefer to do is actually stick them into the holes on like the forearms right here, and that kind of gives it the most visibility on the null rays here. Ramjet actually had different styled null rays. His were more like cylindrical cannon things, and if you were to put those back here, it would look better, but these are the null rays you get with them, so you gotta work with that. But overall, super cool. This color scheme is so unique, and I very much dig it. For some size comparisons with this guy here, we have the G2 Ramjet there, and we have the Earthrise Starscream here, and you can definitely see some of the differences here. This whole entire middle section is identical until you get to the wings. So whereas Starscream has like the normal F-15 wings and the tail fins and stabilizers and stuff, this one has this different look to it. And I don't know if this is based off of a real jet or not. I'm not 100% positive. Yeah, I mean, it's plausible. It could be. But different looking jet. Overall, it's still an F-15, just with different wings. Still looks great, though. Getting him out of here. And here he is with the SS-8610 Voyager-class sweep. And the sweep almost seems bigger in robot mode, but he definitely looks smaller in jet mode or space submarine mode or whatever. I kind of think it looks like a hovercraft submarine thing, but G2 Ramjet is definitely bigger than him in this mode though. But they look pretty good next to each other as well. I like the color scheme on this guy too. I like that kind of lighter color there, but this thing, I don't know. The color scheme on this is so nice. And for the final comparison here, we have Tiny Soundwave. This is the Kingdom Core Class Soundwave. There he is. So Ramjet can fly around and listen to some tunes, you know, pop a cassette in there. Pretty cool. Getting him out of here though. We can go ahead and get him transformed back into his robot mode and take a final look. And once again, the link to the transformation guide will be found down in the description as well as right up here. But with that being said, here he is back in his robot mode. And just to finish this video off, This is so cool and so much worth the money. If you can find it for a good price, absolutely 2 thumbs up, buy it. Like, unless you hate the color scheme. If you hate the color scheme, I mean, I get it. It's very standout-ish, but it is so cool. Like, it is so cool. I 100% highly recommend this. If you can find it, buy it. With that being said, though, I hope you enjoyed that review. I hope you stick around for the next one. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and have a good night.